Test out your joke.
Audio is live. Audio's live? Yeah!
Audio. And
hey!
Video.
Welcome to another Massive Chalice Team Stream. This is number 12. So, Anthony Vaughn on vacation. So, filling in on the Twitch chat over here, Mr. John Burnhelm. Hey, John.
I can chat and talk at the same time. We'll see how it goes.
Why are you so fancy? Why am I wearing this? Why are you wearing this?
This is a special day today, Brad.
What day is today?
It's a Double Fine Christmas Party day.
It's Double Fine Christmas Party
and
day.
the funny thing is, like, this will be my second Christmas party. But
you missed it last year, right?
No, I was here last year, but that was my first one, right? So this will be my second one. I've only been here for a year.
That's crazy.
But this is kind of a tradition because it's basically the same thing every single year, right? And I've heard some people say, "Oh, we should change this little part of it," and other people, "No, we cannot.
No, it's
cannot
awesome.
change that part of it."
It's awesome. We can't tell you where it is
No.
if you're watching this because you might show up, and I'm sorry. We love you, but you're not invited.
It's in the Avengers Sky helicopter base thing.
But like, it's a great event every year, and we raise money for charity. We do a raffle, hang out. Tim Schaefer will be there. He would just walk by the hall.
He said we're too fancy.
It's going to be awesome. It'll be sweet.
Brad tells jokes.
Oh, yeah, and then I get to host the raffle and tell really horrible jokes and subject everybody to it. It's amazing. It's the best.
Maybe an example of one of your jokes.
Oh,
Yeah, sneak previews.
I don't want to like blow them.
From last year.
Right now? Oh, man.
I'll pretend that I never heard it, and I still won't laugh. I mean, I'll laugh hard.
I'll see if I can think of one as we go through this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, did you guys hear that joke about the hole in the ground? Well. That's right, the three. See, you caught me unaware. I'm not prepared. I messed it up. It's the worst. Let's get
in your game, man.
Let's get into the video game.
All right.
That was the worst. Okay, cool.
Stick with your day job.
Yeah,
making games,
I think I'm gonna. So, hey, lots of new stuff coming in. We did have Thanksgiving break. So not as much progress as you would expect for like a full 2 weeks.
Shorter than a normal sprint.
Shorter than a normal sprint, for sure. But we did have some things get in, so we're going to just jump into the mangrove map and start talking about some things right now.
Check out the armor.
Did that work? All right. So yeah, the first thing is that our male caberjack, this is like the first character that's been like modeled up, his armor. So we're going to have to... So the red parts of the character, that is for the house color, the primary house color. We'll add some accents to the rest of the armor for the secondary house color. But there's, you know, we're going to have to talk about, like, is it reading enough? You know, is the armor big enough and beefy enough? Like, it's, I talked with Andy about it, and we're just going to wait until we have all three of them in the game. And we might beef up some parts. Like right now, my gut is telling me that we'll need like a slightly bigger shoulder pad on this dude, and then probably slightly bigger greaves, like just embiggen his legs a little bit, so that when you're zoomed out, you know, that you see him from about this far away, you can really tell that like that dude's a caberjack. It's not just the weapon that's giving it away. Right now, the weapon is super massive though, and when you see it this far away, you know, you can tell that guy's a caberjack, but I think that his armor could be like lending more to that. So we're gonna wait till we get all three of the base characters in. That should be easily like by the next time you guys see this, and then we'll just kind of like make adjustments. I think they're all gonna be like pretty minor adjustments that we would make to the character.
Yeah, and this would be the starting armor for the guys as well. So we do want some room to grow, but I don't know. It's interesting hearing the conversations about the armor around the team because, you know, we don't want to go super Warhammer, World of Warcraft style with, you know, pauldrons that are like 8 heads high and stuff. But there's something to some of those designs. Like they definitely are readable as heavy, and so we got to figure out how to beat this guy up without making him too cheesy looking.
Yep, and then this is the, another thing that we should point out is that none of the dynamic stuff has gone in yet. So if you see this stuff that's kind of sticking out of his waist back right here, like a tail, that's actually going to be like dynamic cloth that will waggle around and stuff.
I thought he was just happy to see us.
And it's like, it's just like a weird looking thing right now, and it'll stay that way for a little bit until we get the simulation rigged up on that. Also, so Jeff has started in on the Hunter, which is like our big like crossbowman class, and a lot of the, you know, you see a lot of that stuff coming out the back and the sides. All of this fringe is going to be like that.
Yeah, you've seen the dynamic skirt that he had earlier was kind of a early version
It was
of
like
this.
a super test.
Yeah, he's
test
had to
of that
redo
just
the
to
whole
make sure that it
thing,
would
so.
work. And then also, if you see the guy, we call this pink lemonade textures. So this is when our engine can't find a texture, it will replace it with this like super garish, bright yellow and bright pink texture, so that you can really, that even if you're looking at it from like this far away, you'd be like, oh yeah, there's a missing texture over there, like something's not right, and it's really easy to like identify the problem.
Maybe those are just your team colors, Brad.
Yeah, maybe those are just your house colors, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, your primary color is yellow, and your secondary color is bright pink.
Someone of the stream brought up that it looks like the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, it totally does look like the Ultimate Warrior. I love that. Oh my man, maybe we should have the Ultimate Warrior as a class.
Or Pink Lemonade Hawkman, which sounds pretty delicious.
So this dude will be fixed as we go through. Do you want to say anything else about the Pink Lemonade thing? I think that's like, it's just an interesting. I mean, a lot of game engines do that, right?
Like a debug, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, you want it just to stand out and be really like.
We have a few others. Some of them like flash at you. Usually, only if you're running the build in like debug or dev mode does it show up. Otherwise, it makes them black, because sometimes we actually ship with a missing texture, and better that it show up black than Pink Lemonade for people who buy it.
For sure.
And I've seen things like another engine I worked on. We had whenever there was an object that didn't spawn in correctly, you'd see this giant, almost like Metal Gear Solid style exclamation point just blinking, and it was just super obvious that something was broken. So it's helpful.
And that right there. Okay. Also, I forgot to introduce you, Chad. Chad Dawson, lead programmer. Yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. You should know who I am. You should know who I am. Yeah, you should. But hey, welcome to Teamstream. I really wanted to show that feature off that just happened. I'm not sure if people saw it or not. But this is a brand new thing that I wanted to talk about on the stream with the AI. Is that AI is still super early. We're still exploring some things, and with the melee enemy, I don't know if you guys saw it back on the thing, but he actually, when it was his turn, he couldn't get within melee range, so he went looking for a better square to stand in, and it actually evaluates squares that your party doesn't have vision to. So things that are fogged from your vision, it will rate as very, very high priority locations for it to go stand in. So I don't know if you guys saw, but he sort of ran into the fog of war and like hid behind this tree right here. So I think that this is like super cool, and I feel like games have shipped with like less sophisticated AI than that, and like we already have it in, and I get super excited thinking about like all the other things that we can do. Since we already got something like that kind of like in the game and can play around with it. It's also cool that we can really mess around with, so I should be able to see him now. Yeah, okay, great.
You can't hit him.
We should be able to mess around with other types of, like just that one tweak on the AI between two different melee characters. Like we can have a big beefy melee character that doesn't care about hiding and he just wants to rush you and that's it, has a lot of HP. And then with this like fossilization guy, the time killer, codename Time Killer.
Time Killer.
We can have him be like a lighter melee guy that's really fast, can move really like a ton of squares each turn, but then he'll like be always like looking to hide because he's really fragile. So he'll be like filled like more of an ambushy kind of enemy, whereas the other one can be like just the big heavy tank guy. And I think that just that one small tweak.
I would say he's a clever girl.
That's right. We were talking about velociraptors, and those enemies in Dead Space 2 and probably 3, I think, that are so great that are really good at like hiding behind crates and poking their head out and stuff like that. And that if we could capture that in a turn-based game, that would be super rad. This is another feature that that you got in, Chad. So I have a range character selected.
Oh right.
Hold on one second. I have a range character selected, and when I hover over this this enemy, this is sort of showing me where I could move and shoot this guy. And also, I noticed this. This is not perfect yet, because I can't actually shoot him from that position. But if there were a location, I can.
Next turn.
Next turn, yeah. If I had one more action point, I would be able to do it.
Yeah.
But I'll see if I can show you an example of it.
Should be a bug, but
it's super sweet when it works.
Yeah, it shouldn't consider places in the yellow region, only the green. It's probably just one number change.
Yeah.
It's a good catch.
It's kind of a side benefit of doing this. It sort of forces us to test the video game.
And that's really what we've been doing the last couple weeks. Now that we have some rudimentary AI and skills in, like it's really helped us just say, okay, how does this play with our fog of war and sight stuff. We have kind of facing attacks. If you get behind somebody, hit them with melee, you get a better chance to hit. How does that work? How does it feel? So it's been great to kind of like put some of the theories to the test here, and we're still doing that. That's going to be a big process. Right, like one of the things that we didn't have coming.
There
into
he
the
goes. Look at him go.
Yep, he's hiding.
So he could not get in range, so he decided to do that instead.
We also didn't have, like, Chad just got in range, the range guy being able to close distance to then shoot you.
Oh!
And that's cool. Like, he came out of nowhere. Where did he come from? And we still don't have the projectiles, but, you know, it's happening.
So you can see it here, like on a melee character, where when I hover over this enemy, it's going to be like the white square is where I'm going to end up standing, and you can see the path being drawn there. And then, you know, it's going to be 60% hit. It'll cost both of my action points to do this. You know, the Caber does 6 damage. He has 4 HP. Like, we really want to give you like all the critical information that you need. And a lot of this, like with the placeholder UI, especially, is to like kind of like figure out like if there are things that you care about or don't care about.
Right.
Like, would we have to show the HP in the bottom left if we're showing it over the guy's head? There's just like a bunch of different, like a range on a melee weapon. Does that even mean anything?
Yeah,
you know?
or even a ranged weapon. Range is sort of a questionable thing on whether you should show it.
Yeah.
Or you should just get a feel for it.
Yep.
Yep. So let's just test these things out. And Chad's been super great about getting in quick UI to show this stuff. Like the graphics people haven't haven't touched this yet at all.
And again, all this UI is just, let's get the number on the screen.
Yep.
See if it's useful, and we'll come up with a better layout and a better, you know, graphic representation of everything later.
So here, this one will work, I think. Yeah.
He's going to
So
step
it's showing me that
back.
I can like step back in order to see around that rock.
If you right click,
and
you
actually
should
shoot him.
actually
And
do
when
it.
I right click
Yeah.
it, you should see my guy move down. Okay, he's moving off screen.
And he missed.
And then shoot. But yeah, I swear that he did move down there, yeah. And then this dude can move even further back, or we can get over here. Also, I mean, these indicators are cool because like we want the ranges to be pretty fast, and I had totally to be pretty long, and I had totally forgotten about that guy. But this is another one where like I can move and shoot this guy at the same time.
Yeah, we'll probably look at doing something with the camera that tries to frame both of you.
Yeah,
That'd be
like
useful.
zooming out and panning over. It's also, we're just learning a lot about the game, like what sort of the core.
Yeah, if you notice the differences on this map, this first area was pretty wide open last time we showed it. John recently went in pretty much as we were playing it to give some feedback on, like, it's nice to have places to kind of run around. So
Yeah, there were only low blockers in this opening kind of area, which meant that you had total sight over the whole thing. There was no
the first
no
move
line of
was
sight.
not interesting at all.
Yeah.
So really making that first turn here now, you can either split your forces up or you can go kind of left, go right. Like that was interesting. Just learning from the level design side that the first move has got to be interesting strategically. We'll figure out more ways to do that, but that was cool. It's good to know.
you could show the heel, our first.
Oh, that's right. I haven't
to-
used that yet, and that would probably be a good time to actually do it. So this guy's injured. I'll pull him back. Yeah.
or
So
it might crash. We'll see.
it might crash. I don't even know
Think
if
it
I've
works.
tested it. This just went in like yesterday, but it's this guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a heel. Nice.
Yeah, heel for 3.
Healed him back up.
So
from
it just
10.
uses the attack animation now until we get new animations in, but it actually works
So-
using the first bit of our inventory system code. So you actually have a heal pack in your inventory. It detects that and gives you the heal button.
And that was, that was the first thing we've had where you can target friendly, right?
Right.
So a lot of it is as we add things, you're kind of like saying, okay, cool, now we have to go back and make sure that all of the code for targeting can handle different team types, and that some things you'll be able to, target both friendlies and enemies, other ones just enemies, other ones just friendlies. I mean, we could do something. I love healing items that also injure your enemies. That's kind of cool. Like the holy water kind of thing. I don't know if we can do that, but oh, smack down.
Getting wrecked,
Oh, man,
Brad.
I know. That's the thing. I'm trying to talk while I'm playing this, and then oh no.
Fog of death.
So one
Is that-
thing to try too, we're starting to work on the enemy AI, as you said, And part of what the enemy does is it looks at its skills that it has and figures out the best one to use that turn. So potentially we can give that health skill to the enemy, and you'll see like these time mages healing up the melee dudes. But deciding when they should do that is sort of something we want to experiment with on the AI, and what are the parameters. Like, obviously don't heal the guy unless he's low on health, but should it take a killing blow against your guy, or should it heal this guy? How do we kind of weigh that decision making on the AI? You could just do it randomly, or you could try to have it adapt, or maybe if you're playing on easy, he's not smart enough to know to heal the guy, and you're playing on hard, you know, he's a little more strategic with it. Figuring out how the AI should make that decision and kind of what's the logic and where those parameters are is sort of another part of our AI as we flush it out, looking at, you know, what's the best behavior on that.
Oh. So this is, yeah, I mean, this is like a typical error in the animation system, where like, so let's see, can you figure this one out? I guess it's really just that.
Yeah, it's basically
the base rig for the character has changed, and then all the animations have to be exported. We actually have a tool that will automatically do this, but you have to actually manually set it up and hit OK. You can go through, like, you'll see this animation play and just be like really messed up. But,
right, Jeff has been doing some good work on the models and kind of splitting them up and deciding how they're going to wear armor. So when you do that and you kind of redesign the models, you need to re-export the animations on them. That's luckily an easy one to fix, but it's this is our latest build. Literally, this build was put together less than an hour ago, so
yeah,
sometimes things get in and don't get tested too much. Usually before we give a big demo or something, we spend some time refining it, but with these team streams, everyone has the access just like we do. Some things are a little broken.
It's, you know, I mean, it's kind of cool. It's like, it's definitely not a super like ideal situation. Oh, can I heal from?
You still have to be.
You have to be right next to it again.
Yeah, but it'll do the walk in range and heal.
Oh, it will. Okay.
If you had any, you only have 1 AP left, so.
Yeah, you can set the range on the heal. So the heal is literally like a weapon. So you could make a heal that could go from, you know, 10 feet away. Or an AoE heal or something like that.
Yeah, he still doesn't have his flinch. It's funny right now because we don't have any animations for it. When you heal yourself, you basically shoot yourself with your own crossbow. I love it. Nice shot.
Yeah, so so we're really just like trying to mess around with things like line of sight and hit chance and HP and range and vision and sight.
Sizes of blockers still. We did another pass on those. Some of the things we had in this level didn't seem like they should be blocking your sight, so we had to change that around. And we're still kind of working on some of that.
Yeah, just making sure that all of these line of sight things actually make sense. There's another thing we were talking about earlier today, which is just like, right now we're placing locators for enemies to spawn on, and right now it's just coming up with it'll generate 3 enemies to sort of like start around each node that you place. And you know, we want to mess around with like, okay, like maybe we take the melee guy and we make him like really weak, and we spawn like, you know, 4 or 5 to 1, where the time mage guy is a lot stronger, and you know, how does that feel? Where it's going to spawn like, you know, a big clump of dudes versus like 1 strong guy, and like we have so many variables that we can mess around with now. It's just like, now that we have the time to do it, we can sort of, now that it's all working, I guess, we just need to find some time to like mess around with these parameters and see if we can come up with things that are fun and interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
We could lit up the design danger room if you wanted to.
It's sweet that it is kind of put together. Is it in a good state to show? I meant to talk to you about this before we went live.
Yeah. Let's check it out.
You want to check it out? All right.
So one of the things that you end up doing a lot as a designer is creating little test levels that will let you test different aspects of the game, and also it's something you can change really quickly and just be like, cool, let me set up a scenario, let's see how this works. There is not a launcher for it. You have to do a thing. We'll do it. It's design_danger_room. And Patrick Hackett, programmer, was on the project the last couple weeks, and he is put in some awesome new tile types. We have the idea in there that you can have a tile that has a type that still you can have a character on top of a tile that could be a damaging tile or a slowing tile, and we're playing with a lot of this stuff. So this is my little test bed where I've been playing around with it.
Okay.
If you see, there's that little L of spiky tiles on the left there. Those are damaging tiles. Those will hurt you as you run over them. The P of tiles.
That's actually working already?
Yeah.
That just got in.
Yeah.
Huh?
Go to the end. Go to the
Amazing.
end of it, and then no, to the left. Or maybe we'll turn on infinite AP, and we'll see. We'll see if the death thing works. No, we won't actually kill the guy, but yeah. So yeah, and then just run through a bunch of them. Ugh. So
awesome.
That's cool. One of the things we don't have right now is the pathing doesn't attempt to avoid it at all. So you have to guide your guy around. Well, what we talked about.
Hey,
awesome.
no
Hey, that works. Sweet. Last time I killed a guy and it crashed. So
and
that's
these
awesome.
are the poison ones, right?
These are these are what we think the corruption or corruption tiles will be like, where you can run through them and it doesn't hurt you, but when you stop on them, the next turn you'll take some damage, and they do not impact the enemy. The damaging tiles right now actually do impact the demons as well, so you could do something like knock them back into them. But here it's kind of like don't end up on one of these tiles. So one of the systems we're looking at is as the region in the world becomes more corrupted, that the map you play on will actually get a whole bunch of corruption tiles that kind of seed across the map. And so if you're fighting a battle in a region that's super corrupted, you're going to have a lot more of these like dangerous spaces to end up in. We're going to see how that feels and how it plays out. So we just got those in this week. That's super cool.
And there was something to the right.
Yeah, and then there's the early versions of the geysers actually to the right.
Oh, no way.
This is sweet because I haven't seen any of this stuff.
All right.
I feel like
New stuff.
I'm getting as much of a.
So you see that block right there? Stand right in front of it. Yeah, yeah. So that just looks like, oh, it's a sight blocking block. Imagine this is a geyser shooting up into the air. Do end turn, and you'll see. Hopefully, it will. Now you can see over it. So these blocks can dynamically change their tile height to impact the line of sight. So we can have them, and they're going to have VFX, and it's actually going to be. We're thinking about this being potentially like a geyser or something else that changes in between turns, and so you'll actually have the whole map changing in between turns, and you'll be able to see somebody one turn, not the next turn, whatever. And we'll probably have to make those have
cool.
some interesting timing on them, so you'll be able to tell what's going to happen. But it's pretty cool. See it working already.
So now it's just every other turn. It's up, down.
Yeah, right now it's just every other turn we have it so we can tune the variables, so we can change the different heights that it changes to, and then also how long it stays. So it probably won't be the whole map is going to turn on or off like it's the Bellagio fountains or something. It's just going to be we're going to be able to maybe set it up so it's really interesting. And these could be damaging tiles too, potentially, where damaging tiles turn on or off. And the last type we have are slowing tiles, which are represented by that mud-looking thing to the left.
This little goopy thing.
Those little goopy tiles,
little goopy blob.
So those just basically cost more for the pathing system. So they're not actually slowing you down as you run by it yet, but if you look, you'll see that you can't move as far when you come out of it because you've kind of had to. Your pathing costs more running through.
You can totally see it here, right? Where I can go 5 in this direction, but only a couple in this direction.
Exactly.
I have to walk over the goop. I think that's going to be awesome for choke points and some other uses. Seems slick.
Slick tiles, not in yet.
Slick, right? Slick tiles. That's
So the funny thing is,
that's a totally different thing.
We can put in a negative number on these slowing tiles, and they actually speed you up.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Taking a break. Be right back.